The Olympic Games date all the way back to 776 BCE in ancient Greece. These games were a way for the people to get out, socialize, and assert their Greek identity. Many believe that watching the Olympic Games was what made someone Greek. It was an essential trait to their character. Over 40,000 spectators came together every 4 years in a stadium in Olympia to watch athletes compete in various sports and activities. The stadium where the event would take place was dedicated to Zeus, who is the king of the gods, which signified the strength and tenacity that the athletes must possess in order to compete in this competition. The stadium sat on top of Mount Olympus, which was the home to many Greek gods and goddesses. Those who came together to watch and participate in the games were from all parts of the Greek world, so everyone spoke the same language and shared very similar morals and principles. The first years that the Olympic Games took place, there were only events such as wrestling, jumping, throwing, and running. However, as time went on and the games grew more popularity, more events such as horse and chariot racing were added to the competition. The main event that many spectators look forward to was the 200-yard sprint around the stadium. Modern day Olympics still have some of these events, with the addition of many more such as table tennis, sailing, trampoline, weightlifting, and many more. Both ancient Greece Olympics and modern day Olympics are a big competition. The main difference is that their people competed as individual in the ancient games, where currently people compete collectively as a country. Back in the day, there weren't the restrictions that are in place now. There were no weight class, intense ruling, time frames, and point scoring. Many of these events consisted of rigorous competition with a side of danger. Boxing was one of the most dangerous events that people participated in. The only rules were no biting and no gouging. Anything else was fair game. Some athletes even died in certain events rather than lifting their index finger to imply their surrender. Everyone took the games extremely seriously. Some people were disciplined with corporal punishment if they were to cheat during an event. The first modern games were introduced in 1896 in Athens, where there were only a total of 14 countries participating, and in the last Summer Games in 2016, there were 205 National Olympic Committees participating in Rio de Janeiro. It took over 1,500 years of the Olympic Games to return since their end in 393 AD. Every modern team has from tens to hundreds of athletes competing for either the bronze, silver, or gold medal. In the ancient games, athletes weren't awarded a medal. If they won an event, they were decorated with a garland made from wild olive leaves to resemble the prestige of victory. Plus, they had all the glory to wave around, which most athletes considered the biggest triumph of all. During the early games, only men were allowed to participate. Those who did participate competed nude. Lacking clothing was a way for the men to reveal their superb physical condition and strong musculature. Many people regarded it as beautiful. Women did not join the Olympic Games until the modern games in 1900, but women's events are still getting added slowly but surely, with the last being boxing in 2012. The closest thing that women had in comparison to the Olympic Games was an Olympic festival that was held on a different date in honor of Hera, Queen of the Gods, where only unmarried women could compete. Just like the Olympics today, the athletes in Greece also trained under the watchful eye of a professional coach to ensure that the athlete was working in the most proficient manner. Trainers were meant to make sure that the competitor was using the right muscles, not harming them, eating a healthy diet, and putting them on a routine to help prepare them for the games. No athlete was alone on their quest to win. There was a team behind them making sure that they were as strong as could be. As the Olympic Games grew fame and the athletes became known, the men began earning a living from appearance fees and prizes, very similar to the modern games in how athletes get sponsorships from companies such as Gatorade or Coca-Cola. Michael Phelps, an Olympic swimmer, was making between $7 to $12 million annually through sponsorships and endorsements. However, back in times of AD, the athletes were making money through amphorae of olive oil or through having patrons in city-states help with training and living expenses. There was a lot of money being spent on training in preparation for the competitors to become elite athletes. If someone was looking to become professionalized, there was no time for them to hold down a normal job, so many athletes counted on getting financial help from outside sources. The ancient Greek Olympic Games were dedicated to Zeus, the king of the gods, in order to honor a competitive spirit, a healthy man, and to create an organized event that Greek people could rally around. This wonderful idea gave heart to the modern Olympic Games that all parts of the world have come to know and love to this very day.